Welcome back to Wine and Wise Real Estate Tips.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Love.
See?
All
She's
the
got
love.
red on. Let's look at what we're about to have.
Yeah, this could go one of two ways. I got talked into this one.
Well, it's got a heart on it. And I mean, what does everyone want for Valentine's Day? Is chocolate and wine. So why not make
I want homes.
chocolate wine? Buy me a house for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
like anytime my husband's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want real estate. I want to travel. I want travel. I want real estate. And actually, my bucket list this year, I know it's on, not, I shouldn't say bucket list. It's not my bucket list. But on my like vision board to buy myself is a pair of red bottom heels.
Oh.
I don't own any. I would like some. That's on my vision board.
So actual.
Yeah, like I want an actual.
How much are
like
those?
I just want a
Google
nice
it.
classic like heel boot. I'm not really sure yet. Like a pair, like an everyday pair, but I'm not gonna wear them every day because they're gonna sit in my closet with like a little throne. But I don't own any.
With some lighting.
Yeah, not next to my other shoes that are like all janky and like beat up.
With all the
with like all my tennis shoes because I teach dance as well. So I have like my real estate heels and then I have my dance shoes. So yes, and that kind of goes with Valentine's Day because red bottoms.
Red bottoms.
Yeah, not what I have on currently right now.
Slippers.
Okay, that's what I have.
All right, I'm gonna pour this sucker, and again, guess what it is?
Dun, 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 dun. Stop. Of course it is. Of course it is.
All right, let's try it. I've never had chocolate wine. Have you?
No.
Okay, we're gonna start real. You want a little?
No, I don't want a little bit more, but thank you.
We're gonna try it.
I didn't clean this glass too well. Don't judge me because of my glasses.
I think they can't see from that far. Maybe.
Well, it smells good.
It smells like chocolate
Actually,
wine.
And
dripped.
It smells like chocolate, but all right, cheers.
Cheers.
Don't really know what's gonna happen.
Smile. Fake it till you make it.
Okay.
Chocolate milkish.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what I'm getting?
I feel like it would be good. Like, it kind of tastes like a little Kahlua-y. Kahlua-y. That's a new word.
Yep.
This would be like a good, maybe after dinner drink, or if you mix it with some like coffee, like a Spanish coffee type thing. I don't know.
I'm surprised I mean, it's a wine, I guess. So
what is it?
It's a blend of red wine and Dutch chocolate.
Ooh. I mean, it's not. I'm
surprised.
I am.
See, got you something good. Never know what you'll like. You think you don't like it, but
ooh, you know how many times that people have told me they're gonna love this house? I need to absolutely see it, and they go through it, and they're like, "This is terrible. I don't like anything about it."
Or what about the clients that are like, "Oh, I absolutely have to have this. I will hate any house that doesn't have this specific feature." And then you show them something, and they're like, "This is my perfect house."
Yep. They'll tell me like, "I want a 1-story attached garage, basement, open floor plan," and they buy a 2-story colonial with a detached garage and on a crawl. You're like, okay, cool. Cool. Thank you for that.
So for Valentine's Day, there are 2 types of people out there. Lucky in love.
Just like me.
And me.
My husband would be very proud.
Oh, you have your
I
ring
do
on
have my
today.
ring. I do. I don't wear my wedding ring very often. Not because I don't love my husband, because I think your vows are the most important thing, not necessarily jewelry. I'm that person. But yeah, I don't know. Depends on the day.
Well, plus dancing, I'm sure it's like sweaty and it's active, and you're not trying to like scrape yourself.
And I travel a lot, and I really don't like traveling with expensive jewelry.
Right. What if the diamond falls out?
Yeah, I just don't. So I take it off a lot, and then I forget to put it back on.
Anyway, so if you are lucky in love, like our dear friend Dione and myself,
heart. Oh wait. That's so cheesy.
I hope you do a graphic that just like expands the hearts. You might be proposed to today. It's possible. Valentine's Day is a big day for proposals. And
I'm allergic to the chocolate wine.
No, stop.
I don't know. No, we're gonna edit that out. But I really had to see so I could hold it back.
you are getting engaged today, if that happens, the next step.
Do you know if you're getting engaged? Oh, wait.
If you get
If you are popping the question.
If you're popping the question, the next thing that you're probably both going to talk about, if she says yes, assuming she says yes.
Or he
says yes.
Yeah.
Is going to be where you're going to live. And do we want to buy a house together?
Yes. And you want to spend more money on a house than you do on a wedding. FYI.
Please. Yeah, I'm telling you, my wedding was a whirlwind. It was beautiful, but the amount of money and planning any wedding takes, and then it's over. It's done. It's a great day, but holy cow, versus living in some place for 5-10 years.
Versus me, who decided to invite people off of Facebook on my family and sent a text and was like, hey, I'm getting married in 2 weeks. You can either be there or not. And then we went to dinner. We went out. It was a great time.
Smart. But yeah, save your money if you can, as much as you can, for where you're going to live and what you're investing. Think about what you're investing in. Just because you spend a lot of money on your wedding doesn't mean that you love your spouse more.
Yeah.
Just because you don't spend enough. Just because you don't spend a lot.
We'll talk about the second thing that we're going to talk about when you spend too much on a wedding. Okay?
Just because you spend not a crap ton of money doesn't mean you don't love each other. It's very much a wise decision to sit down with your finances and see what makes sense for you. And then look at what you're going to do with your finances to invest and to secure your future.
Because that is something you should do even when you guys are getting married. That's the finances need to be talked about through both parties to
Goals.
make sure, to make sure you guys are both on the same page. One might be ahead of the other one, which is totally fine, but you have to make sure, because once you become one, it's like, when you apply for a home and for a loan, they take the worst of the two's credit.
Yep.
So that's something that you really got to look at. If you have somebody that has really good credit and somebody that has really bad credit, when you're married and you're applying together because you need both finances,
right?
They're going to take the worst one. So
you want to make sure for your interest rate.
Yeah.
So
you prep all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that being said, you're also looking for this house, right? And you're wanting to know if you're going to want a condo for your first one or 2-3 bedroom. What would you say if someone's like, I'm newly married, I only want a 2-bedroom house?
2 bedrooms are, they're great. They're great for first time people. It depends on what you want out of your family. Like if you want to have kids, you're expecting to grow, that's not going to be a long-term possibility. So 2 bedrooms are a little bit harder to offload than they are a 3-bedroom, because ideally that's what people look for when it looks for a single family house.
So it's easier to sell a 3-bedroom than a 2-bedroom.
Correct. And it depends on the market you're in too. In Michigan, it is about easier to sell a 3-bedroom than it is a 2-bedroom, because a lot of people work from home too. So they need that 3rd bedroom for an office if you don't have an office space. So you kind of have to look at those options. You gotta look at the area, what you can afford,
and how long you're gonna want to be there.
Yeah, if you're somebody that wants to travel all the time and you don't want to be home very often, get a small home. If you're somebody that wants to have like 7 children, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom is not really going to cut it. So you gotta have to kind of plan and like, okay, what are we going into? What can we afford now? Because real estate is always a good investment. I don't care when you buy. Some people might say, yes, it's not a good time to buy. It's always a good time to buy, because you're paying yourself versus paying somebody else's.
Mortgage. Like that's the biggest thing. You're going to be paying a mortgage no matter where you live. It's either going to be your landlord's or your own.
And I own rentals. I know that. There's been times where I've talked to some of my clients that have come in and applied for to be a tenant in our homes, and I look at them and I'm like, okay,
why?
Yes, I understand why you're renting. I do.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try to get you on the page of being a homeowner. Then there's others that I'm like, you have one of my last tenants, she had an 800 credit score. And she looks at me and she's like, I just never want to own a home. She goes, I want to pick up and leave when I want. And I was like, okay.
There you go.
But it just cost her more money than it would have if she would have put a down payment for a new home.
It's just buying. It's just buying and having that investment and having that equity come back at you.
Yes.
When you're ready to sell, if you do want to pick up and go, you'll have equity. It's just like anything.
Yeah. And I would always say too, if you are one of those couples that are just getting together and just starting your life and finances, don't become house broke. Okay, so if you do want a big home eventually, that's great. Okay, if it's to a point to where every single week you don't have the money to do what you want, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
So kind of find that happy medium of where you can start and then build off of there. Always build equity. Don't buy the prettiest home on the block then. Buy something that you can put some sweat equity into over time.
Sweat equity. What is it?
Sweat equity is what you put into the home. So any renovations that you do, it could be something that you pay somebody to do. If you're handy, you could do it yourself. You could do paint, you could do new flooring, you can do, big renos. If you find a kitchen kitchen and bathrooms are the two places where people spend the most money, but you get the most return. Yeah, so sweat equity is a great way to build more value into your home. And you can always too call a local realtor. If you are looking to kind of house hack, which is basically move into the home for a short period of time, make some money on it, sell it to move into somewhere bigger, call a local realtor. Say, hey, what are the things that people look for in this area? What things can I do to this home to build some equity so I can sell it within the next year or two?
Right.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, a
Cheers.
big long drink here.
It's Valentine's Day.
Sometimes people are very sad on Valentine's Day and they realize that they're not in a good relationship and they're planning or have already filed for divorce.
Yeah, so there goes the $50,000 that you just spent on that wedding. Yeah. That's what I was kind of talking about there. So when it comes to that, it's a very sensitive topic because you have two people that emotionally, no matter, there's
a lot of emotion in it.
Yeah, even if it is quote unquote a happy divorce, a good move for you, it's still very emotionally draining. So you need somebody that can be empathetic and can kind of be the median between two people, because sometimes people can be amicable. I can't say that word very good.
Did great.
Amicable.
You did great.
Perfect. And they can part and they have their finances in order, who's getting what, who's getting not. Sometimes you get people that can't sit in the same room or talk to each other or agree. So you need somebody that can guide both people in the best direction for both people to move forward in a good way.
Yeah.
And then also talk, because if you are looking for a new home because you're selling your current one, there's a couple options.
Yeah.
So a couple options could be you could assume the mortgage, which you could, if you have the mortgage in both of your names, you could refinance, call Melissa and refinance it into just your name.
Yep. And some programs, if you're already in a program that allows you to assume the loan, FHA is one of them. You can actually call your current servicer and tell them, hey, I'm assuming this loan independent of my soon-to-be ex, and they will ask for a few things, and it's the cheapest way for you to get the home into your name alone. Now, if for whatever reason the loan is not assumable, that's when you do want to refinance, and you'll be calling a mortgage professional who can help arrange that.
Yes. Another option is if both people, sometimes people don't want anything to do with the house. It's okay,
too many bad memories.
Yeah,
or
just want to move on. You can sell the home however you divide up the profits. What you don't want to do is, if your divorce is not final yet, is buy a new house quite yet. Anything you buy can be added into that divorce decree before it's finalized. So it's good to talk to a mortgage professional, a real estate professional, so that when you do have everything squared away, you can go ahead and purchase a new home and start your new life.
Yeah, so on the application, I'm always going to be asking, are you married or divorced or single? So you have to make that decision, and if you're still legally married, I'm going to be putting you down as married, and on title, you are a married person. You could maybe talk to an attorney to see if there's ways around that with maybe a trust or something, but that's something that you'd have to do with an attorney. So yes. I'm not going to give any of that advice here.
And you can contact a real estate attorney, and they will give you what you can do and
we
what
have
you
some
can do
contacts for you. So
that's the flip side of Valentine's Day. Cheers. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, take the heart.
Oh.
She knew exactly what I was going to do with that time.
We're like the same person.
I know,
That's kind of how that works.
I know. She knew exactly what I was going to do. But on the flip side, though,
flipping back to the happy.
Yeah, it could mean a whole new ball game. It could mean so much growth, individually, professionally, everything. So
you have more control over what you're doing financially, investments and such. So you can make those decisions, and we're here to help. If you're used to your spouse making all those decisions and organizing everything, Deanna and I are here to help. Like, find someone trustworthy that you can help. They ask for help for, how do I make these payments? What does this mean? Like, how, we can help you navigate when it comes to the real estate, how to make those payments, or what they mean, or what different terms mean, or what the risks are for certain things. We're happy to help.
Yes.
Anyway.
Agreed.
So.
And agreed. Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
spending it
Day.
with you instead of my significant other. We'll do that later.
Yeah,
Cheers.
still daytime.
Cheers to you too.
Still time.
Bye.